Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to class. How are you all doing? Great to have you all in class. Let's wait a few minutes for others to join and we will get started. Welcome, Eldad. Welcome, everyone. Let's wait a few minutes and we will begin. All right. Good evening to you all, and welcome to class. How are you all doing? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Great to see you. We have Akosia. Good evening to you. We have Maxwell. Good evening. And we have Ibrahim. As usual, Ibrahim, how are you feeling? I hope you are doing much better now. Okay. And good evening, everyone else. Avela. Good evening, Richard. Good evening. And Eldad, Chido, great to see you. Great to see you. All right. Good evening to you, and welcome to our next lesson. This is the beginning of an important lesson that will prepare us for the specialization phase coming on very soon. Great to see you all. Great to see you. Yeah, so we have just a few topics to cover, and we will be done with our foundational lessons. And so one of the very important lessons to look at is the topic of automation, where we build a foundation to know how to set up automations. And Microsoft has a powerful tool called Power Automate. So this is the beginning of this particular lesson. And we have some new students who will be joining you for specialization. And so this becomes their very first lesson. And so we are getting ourselves prepared to move on to advanced learning, the main lessons, the main training. And so this is very important that we cover. Yes, and so before the start of this, I asked a number of you to create some simple automations. So later in the lesson, I'm going to ask you to see what you were able to come up with using Power Automate. And so we want to explore Power Automate, and we want to create some basic automations and move it on to more professional automations, connect it to a server and connect it to the work we did in the previous weeks. And this will create a wonderful foundation to move on to advanced studies and also to be able to solve real problems in organizations. This particular lesson, I want to take it right from the scratch. So I'll begin with some few definitions and explanations, and we will progress into creating automations. In the middle of the lesson, I'm going to ask a few of you to show me what you're able to create so that we all see what we did and where we are. All right, so let me know if I'm audible. I believe you can hear me. And if this is your very first class, welcome to these sessions. These are just foundational lessons preparing us for advanced lessons, advanced training. And so let us go through this and understand them. So Microsoft has a powerful tool called Power Automate. Power Automate. If I am audible, you can hear me. Please type Power Automate in the chat for me. Let me see those who can hear me. Let me see those who can hear me. Type Power Automate, and I can see a number of people can hear me. Great to know that. That's wonderful. Power Automate. Power Automate. Now, if you have typed your Power Automate, I want you to think of, let me just give you three Microsoft applications that begin with power. That begin with power. I don't know why Microsoft likes power so much. So think of three Microsoft applications that begins with power. Let's see in the chat who can give us three powerful applications. So someone says Power BI, we have PowerPoint, Power Automate, Yeah, Microsoft likes using Power. Yes, so we have PowerShell. Okay, that's wonderful. We have Power Apps. That's wonderful. Kukua Roxton, Power Apps. Power Apps, Power Query. Power Query. Yeah, that's wonderful. So if you are a Power BI data analyst, you remember Power Query. Yeah, Power Apps, PowerPoint. That's that's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right. So Microsoft has another product called Power Automate, and this Power Automate does so much that organizations require. It is a simple application, but very, very important in the entire field of automation. It is a great tool that once you understand it and you have it as part of your toolkit, you are able to solve a lot of problems for organizations and for yourself. Yeah, so this particular program is an important program for every data professional, every developer, every cloud professional, and every DevOps and security professional. It is an important tool that allows a lot of tasks to be done automatically or automated. And so we are going to look at automating workflows to boost productivity with Microsoft Power Platform. Yeah, so we are going to be introduced to what is called the Power Platform. And under the Power Platform, we are going to see Power Automate. And this Power Automate is just an incredible tool. So I'm going to start with just some basic foundational explanations. Usually we just go straight hands-on, but for this particular topic, we want to build some basic foundations first before we dive into the hands-on practicals. We'll continue tomorrow with purely practical. The whole class is going to be practical. We are going to build something amazing and connect it to what we have already worked on. All right. So we are going to start this whole process by looking at the main topic of automation. What is automation? Who can tell me what automation is? Automation. Just look at automation in itself, automation, and tell me what is automation. What do you think automation is? What is automation? So let me just get one or two from you and then we'll move on. What is automation? Yeah, because this Power Platform or this particular Power Automate, which is under the Power Platforms, it allows you to do automation. And this term, automation, is one of the most modern terms in the world of modern technology today. And this is something that we need to really understand if we want to be modern. And Power Automate creates a wonderful platform for you to advance in this field of automation. And Steph says working independently without management, self-updating. That's wonderful. Self-updating. Any other? Working independently. So this is automation. All right. So let's look at what automation really is. Now, automation, thank you, all of you, Jerome, Abiodun, thank you. Automation is a use of technology to perform tasks that would otherwise require human action. And so tasks that humans are supposed to perform manually, we can make use of tech for it to be performed through technology. That makes it very, very powerful, and that has a lot of benefit if technology can be designed to perform tasks that should be performed by humans. So AI and modern technology all stem from this particular process of automation and the desire to build systems that can perform tasks without human intervention. So whenever we use technology to perform tasks, especially repetitive tasks, time-consuming routine tasks, this is automation. It is most often applied to repetitive, time-consuming, or routine tasks, allowing humans to focus on higher value work. All right. And so certain tasks that need to be done over and over and over and over, certain tasks that consume time, certain tasks that are routine. These tasks, we have been able to use technology to perform them. So this is what automation really is, and it allows us to focus our time and our skills and our attention on higher value work. All right. So in simple terms, automation means setting up a process once and letting the system handle the tasks on your behalf without further manual effort. So once you can define the process and set it up, Power Automate is a tool that allows the computer or the technology to handle these tasks on your behalf. And these particular tasks can be connected to multiple tasks in a whole process. Yeah, so this is what automation really is. And this will lead us to what Power Automate is, why Power Automate was created, why it is important, and what it is used for. The next terminology we want to cover is called a workflow. Workflow. Please type workflow in the chat for me, workflow. So we've looked at what automation is, the use of technology to perform human action. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. There are certain tasks that are very time consuming and very difficult for a person to be consistent with. And so if a system can be designed to perform those tasks, that saves a lot of time. One good thing about automation is that the process can be designed to work so fast and accomplish the tasks so fast in a way that humans will spend so much time to do, but the system will be able to complete a lot of work in a very, very short time. All right. So to understand Power Automate, the next keyword here is workflow. And a workflow is a sequence of connected steps within a process. It's a sequence of connected steps that complete a specific business process. So when you look at a workflow is the complete process from point A to Z. And it is made up of steps that are connected together. So all of these terminologies are making it possible for us to understand why Power Automate is very important and what it actually solves and what it does. In business processes, workflows are created, which define the steps, that are supposed to be followed to complete a specific task. There is a terminology in business, if you've ever studied or read anything business, or you've managed business before, there's a terminology that's in business management or managers use, which is called SOP. I want to find out if there's anyone here who has come across the word SOP and what SOP stands for. What SOP stands for. So David says standard operating procedures. That's wonderful. Yes, so that is wonderful. That is SOP. So Christian says yes. Binti says yes. Standard operating procedures. Yeah, so in few words, how can you explain what an SOP is? Just for those who are new to the term SOP, who can just tell us in just few words what an SOP is and why SOP is important for business management? So those of you who have experience with it, who can just tell us a little bit about it so that we explain it for the rest of the class to understand. All right, so it outlines the steps to carry out tasks. That is beautiful. Step-by-step instructions on how to carry out a task. That is beautiful. Yes, and so this particular term is very, very important. And if you are a business owner and you want to move your business to the next level, you need to take this term seriously. You need to understand this very well, and you need to implement it in your business. All right, so basically an SOP is usually a procedure that is documented. All right, a procedure that is documented on how every important task in your business is supposed to be carried out. All right, when you go to banks and you go to all their branches, one amazing thing you see is that the environment feels the same, the workers act the same, they do things the same, things are done exactly the same. And these banks can be so large that the employees have actually never met together. But wherever you go, they all do the same thing, they all have the same language, they all behave the same way, they dress the same way, and everything is the same. It is because the bank and the management of the bank operates with what is called an SOP, standard operating procedures. And so when a business is scaling or moving to another level, certain tasks or almost every little task is put under SOP. What that means is that management will document the step-by-step instruction on how those tasks are performed. So when it comes to how we address a customer request, we need to follow a specific step. When it comes to questions to ask a new customer, you follow certain steps that are documented. When it comes to responding to certain emails, you follow steps that are documented. When it comes to handling any specific task, the steps are designed. What this means is that when new employees come into the company, they study the SOP and they follow the standard operating procedures on how to do everything. With this SOP in place, what it means is that the process of the business or the tasks are defined down and are separated from the people who do them. What it means is that if anyone is not around, anyone else can follow the same steps and get the same thing done. And so what management does is to ensure that they have the right SOPs so that all new employees and all new roles can just study the SOP and get the job done. This is used in training. This is used and always modified to make it better. And because of that, the business operates not by humans, not tied to a specific person. Anyone can leave the job at any time, but anyone else who comes can still do the same job because every process is documented. Now, when these processes are being documented, they create a workflow, which are a sequence of connected steps that complete a specific process. So this term workflow comes directly into what Power Automate is about. Now, when automated, these workflows become what is called flows. Flows. Please type that in the chat for me. Flows. So when the workflows are automated, they become what is called flows. So this is what makes it very easy to go to Power Automate and see my flows, understand what it is, and be able to see your list of flows and work with it. All right, so flows here refers to a series of actions triggered by an event. All right, so this is when your workflow is automated, and in Power Automate, we have certain ways of triggering every flow. And so we'll be looking at that as we move on. So for example, when someone submits a form, that becomes the trigger. Power Automate records the response in Excel, sends a thank you email, notify your team in Microsoft Teams. So this is an example of a workflow. And it begins with a trigger. So this process is called a flow, a fully automated chain of tasks. So when we combine all of these tasks in a chain, in a sequence, it's called a flow. And when these processes are automated, what that means is that when the first task is performed, it triggers the next task, and that also triggers the next one, and that triggers the next one. This is really core to business operations, what most companies do, and what companies will want you to understand. And just like I mentioned last week, if you have this knowledge and you understand Power Automate, your productivity is going to move to a whole new level. As simple as Power Automate is, understanding it allows you to solve a lot of important problems. A lot of important problems. All right. So this process is called a flow. And these are chain of tasks that are automated, one triggering the next one and going through the whole process. And so when we look at Power Automate is a simple application that can be used to create a flow. That can be used to create a flow. So if you've never heard of Power Automate, you've never used it, this is what we are talking about. And this is automation and can be used for very simple automation and can be used for very advanced automation as well. All right. Next, let's talk about Microsoft Power Platform. Power Platform. So Microsoft has what is called Power Platform, and it is a suite of tools that empowers organizations and individuals to analyze data, build solutions, and automate workflows, all without deep coding knowledge. So this Microsoft Power Platform It contains a number of tools. The same way when you say Microsoft Office, it's a suite of tools. Who can give me 5 tools in Microsoft Office? All right, so when we say Microsoft Office, give me 5 tools within Microsoft Office. Who can give me 5? Just name 5 tools in Microsoft Office. So when you started using computers, you were introduced to Microsoft Office, and in Microsoft Office, there are a lot of tools that you've been learning since the very first time you started using computers. So let me see. All right. So someone says we have Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Okay. Word, Access, PowerPoint, Publisher, Excel. Thank you, Brian. That's wonderful. Someone says we have Word, PowerPoint, Excel, OneDrive, Outlook. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So this is Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office. All right. Today, apart from Word, PowerPoint, Access, Excel, Outlook, which is really core to Microsoft Office, we are going to look at Microsoft Power Platform, which is also another suite of tools that empowers organizations to perform tasks from data analysis to building solutions to automating workflows, all with very, very little coding knowledge. And here I'm going to mention 5 top tools within the Power Platform. So to really understand Power Automate, you need to understand what a Power Platform is. All right. And within the Power Platform, there is a tool called Power BI. And so if you're a data analyst, you are going to study Power BI, which is an incredible tool, to perform data analysis, especially data visualization. And this is really used in organizations for business intelligence to understand how businesses has been operating. Yes, so amongst that, we have Power Apps, we have Power Automate, we have Power Pages, and we have Power Virtual Agents. All of these tools are referred to as Microsoft Power Platform. They are all in a collection called Power Platform, and they all work together to allow businesses really solve problems. So one of the closest applications to Power Automate is Power Apps. It's also designed for low code, allows organizations to create business applications without needing advanced coding skills. So it is an incredible tool as well, Power Apps, and all of it together are tools that create incredible solutions. For example, Power Apps allows you to build apps that connects to the existing Microsoft ecosystem of tools. For example, connects to Excel, SharePoint, connects to SQL Server, and it helps you to simplify tasks. At the same time, connects you to Power Automate to allow you to easily automate applications. So this Power Automate is tied to all that we refer to as Microsoft Power Platform. All right. So by the end of this lesson, you will understand what Power Automate is, its purpose within the Microsoft ecosystem, the key component of Power Automate, and how to set up and navigate the Power Automate interface. So this is just a quick foundation to help us clarify certain terminologies that will make it easier to build all that we have to build. All right. So for Power Automate formerly, and we mentioned this last week, it used to be called Microsoft Flow. Microsoft Flow. Just look at what it does. As we use Power Automate to create workflows or automate workflows, previously it used to be called Microsoft Flow. And right now, if you get into the Microsoft Office 365 or Microsoft 365, you identify it as Microsoft Power Automate. And it is an automation tool within the Power Platform. It is an automation tool. So we've looked at what automation is. And automation here is a use of technology to perform tasks that does not require human effort, especially repetitive tasks. And that connected straight to workflows and flow, automating chain of tasks together. So when you look at what Power Automate is, you can see that it really allows you to go through the whole process of automation. It is a cloud-based automation tool that helps you to connect apps. One of the beautiful features of Power Automate is to connect to apps. Allows multiple apps to be connected together. Allow multiple apps to communicate and to perform tasks together. It helps you to connect apps, connect services and systems to automate repetitive tasks with no coding required. This is what Power Automate does for you. And like I've been saying, this is a tool that you need to not brush off, but take time and get used to. This is a powerful tool that really expands your capabilities. You know, when you start learning computing, you are introduced to simple applications like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. This is 1,000 times more powerful than these introductions you've had. This is like preparing for unlimited possibilities. And it is extremely important that we take a look at the key terms here and understand them really well. So it allows users to streamline business workflow, save time by automating manual processes, connect data across platforms, Microsoft 365, Google, Slack, Twitter, etc., or X. Allows data to connect data across multiple platforms. It improves productivity through smart triggers and actions. It improves productivity through smart triggers and action. So why do we learn Power Automate? Because automation is the future. Automation is the future. Automation. Why Power Automate? Automation is the future. Let me see that in the chat if you can hear me. Automation is the future. Automation is the future. So this is something that if it is not part of your understanding, it's like you are going to go through the longer journey trying to get things done. You are going to, if this is not part of your understanding, it's like in your mind, you are going to miss out on the best approach to getting certain things done. And you'll be thinking about outmoded, long, difficult processes of getting things done. This is a tool that defines what is called working smarter. Working smarter. So for you to succeed, it's not only about working harder, but it's about working smarter. Because you can work so hard and hard and hard, drain yourself, use all your energy, get sick and die, and still the work is not done. It's just because you do not understand the smartest way of doing it. Power Automate, in your understanding or your toolkit, allows you to discover the smartest ways of solving problems. Every modern workplace uses automation to increase efficiency. This is why we learn Power Automate. It uses a no-code approach, which means everyone, even without a technical background, can create automation workflows. This is so powerful. This should be one of the tools that we teach to almost everyone. So because a lot of attention is not drawn to it, a lot of people have not thought of the possibilities. And apart from the multiple templates, you can engineer your own flows. You can create your own flows. You can create your own flows. And that makes it very, very powerful. Very, 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 very powerful. You can create your own flows. And this is a technology that Microsoft created somewhere into 2019. And for the past somewhat 6 years, has been improved and improved by top engineers, and it is expanding and has expanded into the use of AI. And right now in Power Automate, you can integrate AI into it and do incredible work. Yeah, so this is really about making your life very, very easy. Making your life very, very easy. So this is why we need to have an understanding of it as we get into advanced training, because a lot of things have changed. The way we used to do things, today we do things much better. Through AI and automation, a whole lot is done. It also allows you to integrate with the Microsoft ecosystem. Power Automate works seamlessly with Microsoft Teams, Outlook, Excel, SharePoint, Power BI, and Dynamics 365. So it allows you to integrate with these Microsoft tools. All right. And Microsoft has a lot of impacts within organizations. There are a lot of organizations that depend on Microsoft to operate their organization. Microsoft has positioned themselves in a way that businesses can use their productivity tools to solve business problems. This is why somewhere 35 years ago, Microsoft Office came, and all of these things are designed for the office to make companies work well. And today, Microsoft has so much that allows companies to really rely on their tools. And so as you get into the work environment, you are going to see how much companies depend on Microsoft. Yeah, so Microsoft has an ecosystem of multiple tools that businesses rely on and businesses use. This is industry relevant. Skills in automation are in high demand across IT, business, and data roles. So whatever your career path is, you need to have an understanding of automation and know how to make use of it. These are tools that if you do not learn, like I mentioned before, you will miss out on possibilities because when you are thinking of solutions, you will not know, because it's not part of your knowledge, you will not know to, you will not know what is possible, or you will not know how to solve problems easily. But with this, you will have a lot of advantage to be able to get a lot done. And having this knowledge and getting used to this platform or this application will really make it very easy to always know what to do whenever you are faced with challenges. All right. So this Power Automate, there are certain components or building blocks that really define it. This means to use Power Automate, these building blocks are really what make Power Automate possible. So we'll talk about a few of the top ones, and then we will explain one of them, and then we'll get into the practical session of using Power Automate. All right. So the key components within Power Automate, number one, we have what is called triggers or trigger. So please type trigger in the chat for me. Trigger. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. All right. So for you to understand Power Automate, you need to know that Power Automate is made up of certain components, and the chief amongst all of them is what we call a trigger. So the trigger is usually the event that starts or initiates the flow. So what should trigger the flow? So the flow is a process that you have designed and it will be activated when a trigger, when there's a trigger, or you have to define a trigger. So an example of your trigger would be an automated trigger, like when an email arrives. So if you set this as your trigger, you are telling your flow to start operating when that trigger happens. So you can set a trigger, for example, 2 p.m. of every day. That's a trigger. Okay, so we'll look at the types of triggers are available. You can set a trigger to say that when an email, when I get a new email, that's a trigger. You can set a trigger to say that when I upload to my YouTube channel, that's a trigger. Or when I post a new article on my blog, that's a trigger. Or you can say when a button is clicked, that's a trigger. So there are different types of triggers. Some are automated triggers, some are manual triggers, some are scheduled triggers. For example, you can say that every year on someone's birthday, send this message to them. So imagine your loved ones and you take your Power Automate and you trigger, you design a birthday flow for everyone and set the triggers on their birthdays. This means that on a birthday, you can send a WhatsApp message, you can send an email without you doing it manually. So this is actually going to make it's going to solve a lot of problems for you and let you remember a lot of people, let them feel like you remember them. Meanwhile, you've programmed all. And this is a real solution that Power Automate can be used to solve. So whenever the trigger happens, similar to AWS Lambda, if you use AWS, you have to define a trigger to trigger the process. All right. The next component is called an action. An action. Please type that in the chat for me. An action. Action. All right. So in Power Automate, we have the trigger. We have the trigger, and then we have what is called the action. The action is actually what happens when the trigger is triggered. What happens after the trigger? So that's the action. So these are some terminologies that we are going to be using. We are going to be talking about connectors, flows, triggers, actions. So these are terms that really make it easier to speak the language of Power Automate. Speak the language of Power Automate. So the action, for example, save a file, send an email, post a message. That's an action. So this is very clear. We have the trigger and then the action. Then we also have what is called the connector, connector. So in Power Automate, like I said, you are going to be hearing of these terms, connectors. So you can be asked, which connector are you using for so and so? What trigger are you using? What is the action? So these are terminologies within Power Automate. So the connector is a bridge that links two or more applications or services together. For example, connect Outlook to SharePoint or Teams. So these are called connectors. The connectors are used to link applications They are used to link applications. So once we get to Power Automate, you are going to see a lot of connectors. And this is a term we are going to be talking about most of the time. Most of the time. All right. Then we also look at what is called a flow. A flow. The entire automated workflow that combines triggers, action, and your logic together is called a flow. So when you say a flow, you can see an example. So from the email to the saving to the notification, all together is called a flow. So the flow is the entire chain of tasks or automated actions that begins from the trigger, all the way to the end. This is called the flow. The flow. Let me see that in the chat. Type flow in the chat. I know we've mentioned it before, but I just want you to really cement it. So that is called a flow. All right. Okay. Then sometimes we have certain controls like conditional controls. So these are decision-making logic that controls what happens next. For example, after a trigger, instead of just performing an action, you can have a control to decide on what action to take. What action to take. So this allows you to create intelligent flows. All right. So after the basics of Power Automate, you start using controls to create more intelligent flows. These more intelligent flows uses conditions or certain logics that performs actions based on certain conditions that are being met. So we can have the yes and no sections where you define actions if it is no and define actions if it is yes. Okay, so you have actions for whatever happens. And we all understand conditional logic because sometimes certain tasks or certain things or users may make certain decisions or may choose certain things, or the trigger may come with certain options. All right. So if it is option A, do this rather. If it is option B, then do that. So this is not going to be a linear flow. So we have flows that have branches. So instead of a linear flow that is just static, you can have a more dynamic flow when you introduce conditions. Let me know if anybody understands what I just said. Anybody at all? Okay. Yeah, so in programming, you learn about conditional logic, and this is so as we get into Power Automate, we are going to look at all of that. Okay. Then, of course, we have what is called templates. And these templates are pre-built flows that helps you to create your automation very quickly. So in Power Automate, there are a lot of templates. So almost 80% of all the flows you will want to create, other people have created them. So Power Automate has captured the flows that a lot of people have made around the world, and Power Automate has stored them. This means if you want to create something similar, you don't have to start from scratch. You can just use what others have created. And so through the templates, you can do a whole lot. So last week I mentioned something about this. So for example, save email attachments to Google Drive or OneDrive. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the types of triggers, and I want to see a few of the automations you were able to create when I asked you to do some research and create any automation. So I want to see what you've been able to do. This is very, very important. What you've been able to do, and we will pick it up with that understanding. So a trigger. So let's talk about triggers and some types of triggers, and we'll continue. So the trigger is an event that starts your flow. So we've answered the question. When should this automation begin? When the trigger is activated. So there are some types of triggers that you see when you open Power Automate. So we have what is called automated triggers. These triggers start automatically when something happens. All right. So when you want to create a flow, you are going to be asked, what type of trigger do you want to use? Do you want an automated trigger? This means it begins with an event when something happens. Then we have what is called instant triggers or manual triggers. So these manual triggers, they start, for example, when you click a button in the Power Automate app. So these are triggers that start manually. So you can see the difference between the triggers. There are some triggers, they begin manually. And there are some triggers, they are automated. Then I like the third one. These are called scheduled triggers. So they start at a set time or frequency. Example, every morning at 7 a.m. or every week at 4 p.m. or every day at a certain time or every month on a certain day or every year on somebody's birthday. So these are scheduled triggers. Scheduled triggers. All right. So before we move on to the next slide, and I'm just going to ask you to start sharing what you did last week. If you want to create a flow right now, what trigger excites you? Do you want an automated trigger? Do you want a manual trigger? Or you want a scheduled trigger? Let me see in the chat. What trigger really excites you about automation with Power Automate? Let me see in the chat. Just tell me which of these triggers really excite you. All right, so someone says the automated trigger. That's really wonderful. We have the automated, okay? So that is when something happens. Someone who loves the scheduled trigger. I love the scheduled trigger too. The scheduled one, you can set a time or date and something will happen. This is amazing. So almost every morning, you can let your Power Automate do something for you. Just imagine what is possible. And imagine creating a lot of automations about important things in your work and important things in your life. You realize that this really, really makes your life very, very easy. It makes your life very easy because a lot of things can be done automatically. And this is the time to start getting into automations. And this same Power Automate also leads to advanced areas such as robotics and all of that. All right, it leads there. And so this is powerful for data professionals, for engineers, for developers, for cloud and security as well. All right. Okay, so just like we saw last week, this is the interface of the Power Automate, and it is now time to get used to it, understand it, and start creating flows. I know that if I open PowerPoint, everybody understands PowerPoint, everybody understands Word, most people understand Excel, but this is the next tool to understand as you become more and more professional and more technical. All right, so at this point, before we try one automation, and we'll continue tomorrow with pure automations with Microsoft Automate, I want to see some of the automations you did as assignments that I gave you last week. So let me see some of the works you've done. So if you can just raise your hand, I will allow you to share some of the exciting. I know some of you created some exciting automations and we just want to see and applaud you. We want to see and applaud you. So let me um, see by hand those who have done something. And after this lesson too, you'll be given a chance to try your hands on your first automation if you have not been able to create any automation before. All right, so let me see by hand those of you who have created yours. So I have Ibrahim. Who else? Let me see. I want at least 3 different ones, and we'll continue from there. So we have Francis. Who else? Just raise your hand. Oh, really? Okay, so Jerome, yes, you can definitely switch to um, Windows. You can switch to Windows. Yes. All right. So okay, so some still cannot create cannot create your account. Okay. All right. So let's see how we can solve that. All right. So let's begin. I'm going to allow Ibrahim Seri to share what wonderful automation he created. So Ibrahim, kindly share your screen and let's see what you've done. So please, you can share your screen, Ibrahim, and get started. Okay, clever. Well noted. Okay, so Ibrahim, are you ready? Okay, if you're not ready, let's allow Francis. Let's allow Francis to go first, and then you will let me know when you're ready. So Francis, please go ahead and share your screen.
Good evening, sir. Good evening,
Yes.
everyone.
Good evening.
Yes. So I was able to create my flow, and once it was created, I had to now go ahead and test it. I automated it in such a way that when you send me an email and you attach to it any document, it should automatically go to my Google Drive. So I'm going to try that out by coming here and composing an email. I'm going to send
Okay,
it
so
to my email address.
I can't see your screen. So please stop sharing and share again, and let's see.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see now.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and compose an email.
Okay.
Then I'm just going to say testing, testing, automate. Then I'm going to attach a file to it. Let
Okay.
me attach this file
Uh,
and then
network one nonsense. Light one nonsense.
so now I'm going to go ahead and send with my two attachments here.
I not coming out in
And now when I go
yeah.
ahead
The
here,
other coming away.
I'm going to refresh. This is my Google Drive.
Okay.
As soon as I refresh, check this email as well. So here I have received them.
Click on the attachment and let's see.
These are the
Okay.
testing, the previous ones
Okay.
that I had received from, and then it actually came and reflected here.
All right.
You can see the four, it succeeded.
Yeah.
So that was it basically.
Okay. All right. Open to the automate again. Let me see. Okay. So, okay. At the top left, click on the flow checker. Let me see what is there. Top right, sorry.
Just right. That is very fast. Go back
Okay.
here.
Click on this one.
This one.
Yes. Okay. So, so the recent one, you can see the status.
It's
Okay.
done.
So this is the one that you just created.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Click on the flow checker at the top right. Let me see. Okay. And click on edit and let me see. Edit, far left. Okay. So you've connected your Google Drive, you've connected your distance. So it should just work out. Yeah. All right. So that's fine. That's fine. So you just try and figure out why this one didn't go through, but everything is correct. It's supposed to work. All right, you've done well. You've done very, very well. All right, so let's see from Binti Omari. Yes. Yes, well done. You've done really, really well. Let's see what others have done. Binti Omari, please share your screen.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Actually, I was not able to use the Power Automate the online account because I'm not able to subscribe. It
Okay.
requires a work account, which I don't have, and I'm not able to pay the subscription fee at the moment. So I just downloaded the PowerPoint desktop app, and I used a very simple JavaScript to basically, for me, I just did something very simple. I didn't have much time this weekend. I was out of town, but I just created this. This is an instance whereby I just open my favorite websites, probably when I fire up my machine and I want the most frequented websites up.
Okay.
So I just created this, and when I click on this button here, it will open for me. Sorry, yeah, my favorite websites, which I just put 3 for now.
Okay.
And basically that's it.
Wow.
Yes,
So
I have this.
take us through how you did it quickly.
So I just came to create a new flow here.
Okay.
And then you give it a name. For me, I just I named it Open My Favorite Websites, and then from there now you click Create here,
Yeah.
and then once you I got an assistant from Chat GPT also.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, so to say create, and then you will put the code here. Just click on edit, or you come to flows here.
Yeah.
It's a bit slow. I think it's opening. Yeah, sorry. When you click on the flows, it will take you to the various actions you want to do to use,
Yeah.
whether you want to use Word, Excel, or whatever.
Okay.
We call them like templates. What you want to use. So for me, I said this is my JavaScript here.
Okay.
That once first of all, I will launch I picked, you pick the action here, launch new Chrome. Yeah, so you drag and drop it on this panel here, like you just drag it and put it here. Then you put the URL, the website that you want to open first.
Yeah.
You put the URL here. And then, yeah, basically that was it. Then you save. And then now the next, just below the first action, then you can drop another one. You just come back here and search for what you want to do next, like run JavaScript. It's here, function.
Okay.
You just pick, you just type, and then it will give you the various suggestions, and then you just drag and drop here. So once you do that, now here you put the exact function on how you want the website to load, because at first it was loading like each website on a different window.
Yeah.
But if you want them to load on the same window but different tabs, this is the code I used. The window open. So you function, execute script, the window open, HTTP. Now this is the next website, and then window open again, the next website, and then now you save. And when you run, now it's able to open all the websites that you want. You have included here. Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. Yes. So that is really that's great. You've done very, very well. You've done very, very well. And this is deep. This is deep. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we've all seen, let's put our hands together for her and everyone else. Yeah. So this one is a Power Automate desktop. All right. So apart from the cloud, we have the desktop. Yes. So the desktop, how did you get a desktop?
From I just downloaded from Microsoft Store. Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, Microsoft Store.
All right. So I want everyone to check Power Automate on their Windows to see if you have Power Automate already. If not, let me know what you are seeing. So go to your Start menu and type Power Automate. And let me see if you have Power Automate already on your computer. Yes, so let's everyone try and let me see if it's already working on Windows 11. Okay. Yes, so Chido has it. Let me know if everyone has it. Let me know if everyone has it. Okay, so please open it and let me know what you will see. Open it and let me know. Okay. All right. Okay. So Chido has it now. That's fine. That's fine. So that's wonderful. All right. So let's see. Okay, so Francis, how did your Power Automate, how did you get it to work? Let me hear from you, Francis. Yeah.
So I actually came.
I can't hear you, please.
So I came onto our Power Automate, and I came on templates, and then
I mean,
had
the Power
searched.
Automate you are using, which version are you using and how is it working for you? Are you using a work
Mine,
account?
yes. So I'm using my actually my domain account. Since I obtained the Zentry Plus domain, I simply had to create one for francis.msimbi@, mydomain.com at zentryplus.com. So when signing into Office, it required for me to use either a work account because it had rejected Outlook, it had rejected Gmail. So I had to use that one that is related to my domain name, which I take as my work account to sign into Office, and then it would allow me to now have access to all these.
I'm finding it hard to understand what you are saying.
Yes.
Your word, you are not sounding very clear.
Okay. So
I think I've understood what he's saying. He is using his domain. He has a domain called Zentry Plus.
Okay.
So that's the one he used to create like a work account. Otherwise, if you create a personal Outlook account, even if it's like Bintiomari at Outlook, it will not work with Power Automate. It has to be like bintiomari.at
Exactly.
It has to be like a domain, a registered domain. So it's either work or a registered company or something of the sort. But a personal, like Bintiomari at Outlook, it would not work. It was saying the account you're trying to use is it's a personal account and it has no access to Power Automate.
I get you.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah.
Did you subscribe to any license, Francis, or you are on a free trial?
Now I use we used to use a family shared Office package, so it is paid for, that is shared for. It has certain number of people who can use it for the Microsoft 365. So it is paid for, but for family as well. So you can do family subscription and have several other users actually get to use it. Otherwise, if you don't have that subscription of Microsoft 365, you cannot access it. So first of all, you need to have access to the Microsoft 365 package, which comes in either family package or individual package or company package. So you have to choose within those before you can actually have access to it.
Okay. All right. Okay. I want us to try something and see if this will work out. So I think I want someone to try this. So okay, so I think Binti Omari, you can try this for us. Share your screen again and go to office.com. Let me see what you'll find. Let's just try something. If it works, then we can create it for those who are not able to access it. So go to office.com. Let me give you an email to try, and let's see if it will work out. All right, so this is your office.com.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so which account is connected to this?
This one I used Nteuzi at Outlook. It's a personal Outlook
Okay.
account.
Can you, I don't want it, okay.
I sign
Sign
out?
into a different, no, sign it with a different account.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so the different account, I want you to use this. I put it in the chat. Just try it and let me see.
Notice. Okay. I need a password.
Okay, so let me get you a password. Okay, check the chat and use this and let's see. Okay, so go to apps and let's see if we have it there.
Swiping.
Please come again.
Yeah, this one is okay. I'm able to access Power Automate.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so let me see. Let me see, but please click on Mind Flows and let me see. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Then go to create. Okay. So these are the different types of flows: automated, scheduled, cloud. So the instant cloud is the same as manual. Okay. Click on instant cloud and let's see.
Mhm.
Okay. Just give it any name. Okay.
Great.
Then go to choose the manual, scroll up.
Mhm.
Choose the first option, says manually trigger flow.
Okay.
Then create it.
It's fine. Okay.
Okay. So
The same thing here. Yeah.
okay. So now add another step to it. So this is a manual trigger. Add a step, and so this is where we search for an action or a connection. So so for this action, you can select any action such as try the attachment and let's see.
Get attachments.
Okay. All right. So this one says attachment to OneDrive. Okay.
Assignment with information to SharePoint.
Let me just check which one we can just use. Okay. So look for a V2 action that says send, type send an email. Let me see. Type send. Yeah. So just give it any title. Let's say welcome to Power Automate.
Okay. Then I choose
All
the
right.
manual.
Then yeah, choose manual. Okay, then create it. All right. So the next step, look for send an email. Let me see. Choose a V2, send an email. I just want to be sure if this account can do all of that. Yeah, choose that one.
Okay.
Okay. Click on sign in and let me see.
A different account?
Okay, click on the same account. Let me see if that will work. I just want to see if it works, then I can create for everyone else, but I don't know if, okay, so that account doesn't have, let me check this. Just a second. Okay, try it again. Let me see.
I sign in?
Yeah, the same account. Try it again. Did you click on sign in? Please
Yes,
click on
yes.
it. Click on it again. Let me see. So I think this account, it can do almost everything apart from email, but let me give you a different one.
Okay.
All right, so let me rather demonstrate it from my end.
Okay.
Then let me demonstrate it from my end, and then we will see the process first. After that, then we will try different flows and see if these retail accounts can do them. I think these particular ones is just the license to send an email, but let me share my screen and we'll go through that same process first. Okay. All right. So with this one, once we go to create, so these are the types of flows that we just saw. So we have the automated flow like we saw. We have the instant flow, and this is triggered manually as needed. So with these types of flows, you trigger them manually. We have the scheduled flow, we have the desktop flow, and then we have process mining. So let's go to this and let's say my first flow, my first manual flow. So with this one, you can trigger this with a manual trigger, and this will create your first flow interface. So this is where you begin creating your flow. And then over here, you have the trigger here as the first one. And you can add a step to it from here. So over here, we can send an email. Send an email. All right, so you can click on send an email. So with the sending of email, we have this V2. There's another one called email notification called V3. Tomorrow we'll use that. So with this V2, you can provide an email address over here. So for example, let me try anybody's email. So can you give me your email, Binti Omari? Or anybody can put their email in the chat for me to use.
I've shared mine.
Okay, so it is nteUzi@outlook.com. All right, so this is it. Let me add another email. So let me see, Alex where. Okay, so Alex Goeche 28. All right. All right, so let's try one more. We have Owusu Opoku Richard at gmail.com. All right. All right, so let's say welcome to Power Automate and welcome to the first manual Power Automate class. All right, so this is what we have designed here, and that is okay. Later on, we will start using all of these dynamic features here. So you can just collapse this and it has been created. So this is your trigger. This is your trigger and this is the action. right here. And so we need to save this. After we save it, then we test it. So to test your flow, you can use manual and then test. So we'll see if this one will work. Continue and run your flow. So with this one done, if it works, we are going to see that it has run successfully. So usually when you see this check marks, it means it worked. So now let's check your emails and see if the emails, you were able to receive the email. Let me know if you were able to receive the emails. So please check your mails. Okay, Opoku says yes. All right. Opoku says yes. Alex too, yes. Okay, Binti Omari, did you get yours? All right. So, all right, that's fine. So I just want us to, this is a simple example of a manual flow that we've created. So there are multiple flows that we can create, and anytime you create a flow, you save it and you can test it manually. If you want to test it manually, you test it automatically means if it is an automated flow, when the action trigger is activated, it works. And also here, when you see automatically, you can come and rerun some of your previous flows. So for example, the first one we ran 2 minutes ago is here. We can retest it. Let me create another manual one. Okay, so it worked. You can see here when your flows are running. And you can, when we come here, we can see that we have 2 flows tested here. These are the successful ones. Even if it failed, you will see here. And these flows, when you put your flow into production, let's say you connect it to a real website, all your flows will be recorded here. All your flows will be recorded here, and any of them, you can select them and you can test them again. If any flow fails, you see here in the list, and you can select it anytime, and then you can correct whatever was wrong and test again. All right, so this is just where we test our flows. All right, so for those who have accounts that are working, with the accounts I gave, it's just an email that they cannot send, but it can do other things. So I'll select examples that we can use it for so that those who do not have accounts can just do that. But then anyone who has an account, I want you to try this simple flow, and let's see how you can create it. So anyone who has an account should just try this. You can see that it's already working. All right. All right. So this is just a quick introduction and our first flow created here. So let's, okay. So Copper says it worked. Copper says it worked. All right. That is fine. So I want everyone to try this. Try this, and then tomorrow we'll do practicals with selected flows, and then we'll connect it to our server work. Okay, so those who are having difficulties, okay. All right, so try with the desktop. That says try with the desktop. So try it, and if it works, just create a simple flow that we just created. Create a simple flow, and let's see if you can get it to work. There are other flows you can also create as well. And if you want to add another step, you can go ahead and add another step. Tomorrow we'll pick up from here, and then we will practice a number of selected flows. Okay. Apart from that, if you have a domain name, you can also register for Microsoft 365, a trial version. You can register for Microsoft 365 trial version, and you'll be able to create this. Yes, if you have a domain name, you can do that. You don't have to pay for it. You just have to get a trial version. Yes, so the videos will be shared with you. Yeah, so let's all practice with this simple flow, and we will take it from here tomorrow. We'll share the video with you. If we're able to get it ready tonight, we will. If not, early in the morning, you should receive it. All right, so tomorrow we will continue from here, and we'll create certain selected flows and connect it to our server and see Power Automate really in action. All right, so we'll end the class here for today, and we'll continue tomorrow. Hopefully you have learned something new, and tomorrow we'll pick it up from here. So I wish you all the best. Just keep trying. If you're having issues, just keep trying. Find ways and get it fixed. And yeah, so let's try. Tomorrow we'll pick it from here. Whatever it is, we'll have a better solution for those of you struggling by tomorrow. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next class.